The fastest growing trend in travel right now is traveling with your pet. But just how difficult is it to take your best friend on an international trip? Hi, I'm Terry and this is my dog Rocket, and this video is a step-by-step guide to our experience with the rules and regulations for a pet in cabin on an international flight. We're also going to warn you about the scary moments when your dog or cat could be denied boarding. In fact, we started the preparations for a successful trip months ago. So let's get right to it. Okay, Rocco, pay attention. We're going to talk about boring stuff like government paperwork, but if you have questions about the airport or what happens in security, or you just want more of Rocket's cuteness, feel free to skip ahead. The first question is, where in the world are you going? You'll have to look up the destination on the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Animal and Plant Health Service Inspection Site, or APHIS, and I've put a link in the video description below. We were going from the United States to the European country of Slovenia, and like most European countries, it requires that the pet have a valid rabies vaccination and an ISO microchip that can be read by the machines in the European Union. We checked Rocket's records and he was apparently good to go. Now it's time to book a ticket on an airline that allows small pets like Rocket to fly in business class when they're not being total snot dogs. Now it's time to book a ticket that allows small pets like Rocket to fly in the cabin. And it makes a difference if you're going economy or in business class. I'm a frequent flyer on United and I had enough points to book in business class, but for international flights, United will only book pets in economy, not business class. So I checked the partner airlines on Star Alliance, and it turned out that both Swiss and Lufthansa would allow a pet in the last row of business class. So I got approved right away by Swiss Airlines, and I paid about $130 for Rocket's ticket. But for some reason, they could not approve the return flight, so I booked that on Lufthansa and paid for Rocket's return ticket. So now we have airline tickets, and more important, we have a date for the trip. The next step is to make an appointment to get a USDA health certificate for your pet, and it must be done by a USDA certified veterinarian. Unfortunately, my longtime trusted vet was one of many who no longer wants to deal with the bureaucracy and the paperwork, and so I had to call around to other approved vets in my area, and much to my shock, I was quoted prices of up to $700 just to fill out the form, plus another couple $100 to have my dog become a new patient. Fortunately, I kept calling until I found a place that had more reasonable policies, and we made an appointment for about 2 weeks prior to the date of our flight. Ready to go, Rocket? Next, we had to deal with the airline's requirements. A pet in cabin who is not a service dog is expected to remain in the carrier for the entire flight and should be able to stand up, lie down, and turn around comfortably. It was pretty obvious that Rocket was going to be too big for a carrier we had purchased for a previous pet to fly within the United States. The requirements of European carriers are different, but the Swiss-approved carrier is not sold in the United States. We found something similar on Amazon. The real problem for Rocket was his weight. The carrier and the dog together could not weigh more than 8 kilograms, which is about 17.4 pounds. It turned out that the 11-pound adorable dog that we adopted from a shelter had bulked up on treats in his forever home, and he had to go on a diet, reduced calorie kibble, and lots of exercise so he could be a svelte 13 pounds by the time of the trip. While he was on a diet, our hungry dog was very motivated to start training to getting used to his carrier. Now for Rocket, it wasn't easy. This poor thing spent the first 2 years of his life in a cage in a puppy mill, and the last thing he wanted to do was get into a confined space. So over a couple of weeks, with lots of patience and lots of treats, he finally got it. Go in your box and sit. Go in your box and sit. Good boy. Down, down. Good boy. And turn around. Turn around. Good boy. 2 weeks before the flight, we visited the USDA-approved vet at the Jupiter Animal Hospital to get Rocket's travel certificate. This was a moment of truth for our porky Yorkie poo, but he weighed in at 13.1 pounds. He was a very good boy, as Dr. Gerard's nice staff verified his rabies vaccination and his microchip and his overall general health. Then they submitted the paperwork to the USDA online. Now, even though I shopped around for a great vet hospital with the most reasonable prices, this was not cheap. By the time we paid for the International Health Certificate and the USDA Health Certificate and express shipping, plus the examination itself, we paid a little over $550. And even with that, this is the first of the scary moments that I warned you about. The paperwork has to be dated within 10 days of your arrival in Europe. And they send it in online, and you have to wait for it to be stamped with the official seal and returned to you by express shipping. All we can do is hope the bureaucracy does its job, and we sit here and wait. No paperwork, no trip. Hey Rocket, look what the FedEx man brought today. Yeah, it's your certificate to go on the trip to Europe. And as you can see on page 5, it's got the signature of our vet in Florida and a vet in Austin, Texas with the USDA seal embossed on it. So we're lucky the Department of Agriculture did its job and got Rocket's paperwork back to us in plenty of time for the trip. In fact, it's not really fair to blame the United States government for the time and the hassle in the paperwork. It's the European Union that requires a piece of paper from a federal government agency with an embossed seal. By contrast, the process of bringing your pet back into the United States is relatively easy. So one short 1-2-page form that you fill out and you send it in online, and they send you back a permit to import your dog back into the United States, and it's good for 6 months. So with all the paperwork ready to go, it's time to pack and get ready to go to the airport. Ready to go? Ready to go, Rocket? Rocket needed a spa day before going to the airport. His extra fluff was cute, but I've heard of some dogs being turned away at the ticket counter if they had so much hair that they looked too big to fit in their carrier and fly in the cabin. So after a bath and a blowout and a fashionable short haircut, our little gentleman was ready to go. Here we go, buddy. First leg, long trip. The Miami Airport Tri-Rail station would be Rocket's last chance for an outdoor potty stop before entering the terminal. And he got some exercise as we walked all the way to the end of the platform to find a tree and some real grass. And now it's time for scary moment number 2. The moment when you approach the ticket counter and your pet could be denied boarding if something's wrong with your paperwork or the carrier or the dog. It all depends on the person at the ticket counter. So wish us luck. Here we go. And we did get lucky with the dog-friendly people at Swiss Airlines. One person asked if Rocket had enough space in his carrier but did not weigh it. The ticket agent checked the USDA paperwork and made sure I filled out an additional Swiss Airlines form. we were good to go.
Looks like Rocket's going to Europe.
At security, Rocket's empty carrier went through the bag scanner. I walked through the metal detector with Rocket in my arms.
Hey buddy, you're doing great.
We cleared security with time to chill in the Star Alliance lounge.
Well, here we are in the lounge. Absolutely no problem getting the dog inside. He's apparently welcome.
Last chance for a potty stop before boarding. The Miami airport has fancy pet restrooms that even flush, but Rocket was not impressed.
Rocket, tinkle.
Tinkle.
Tinkle, buddy.
Go. Shoot. Shoot. Tinkle.
Tinkle. Get a treat if you tinkle.
Okay, here we are on the plane, and we've already had 2 flight attendants tell us that Rocket has to stay in his box with the top closed for the entire flight, about 9 hours. So, good luck, buddy. I hope you go to sleep and have a nice flight. I only took Rocket out of the carrier for long enough to put on his belly band dog diaper. The carrier took up most of my legroom, but I didn't mind sharing. The vet had prescribed a mild sleep aid for Rocket. We gave it to him in the lounge, and he was ready for a 9-hour-long nap. When we got to the Zurich airport, no dog potty. I showed my passport at immigration, but they were not interested in Rocket at all. We spent some time in the lounge before transferring to our connecting flight over the Alps to Slovenia. Hang in there, Rocket. Only about 2 more hours to go. And he made it! The dog diaper was bone dry. And after holding it for 14 hours, Rocket couldn't wait to find a clean green patch of Slovenian grass.
Good boy. Wow, that is a really long tinkle.
As for clearing customs in Slovenia, it should have been a scary moment, but it wasn't. I greeted the customs officer. He glanced at the paperwork, glanced at the dog, and waved us through without even stamping it. A couple of lessons that we learned along the way. First of all, the time that we spent getting Rocket to be comfortable in his carrier was totally worth it. The other game changer was the prescription that we got from the vet. Now, I'm normally not in favor of giving drugs to my dog, but this 50 milligrams of trazodone was just enough to make Rocket sleepy for the flight and made it easy for us to comply with the requirement that he stay in the carrier the entire time. But he perked up right away after we arrived, and he's all ready to enjoy his new life as a European dog. Rocket and I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something that helps you plan a better trip. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the Terry Anzer YouTube channel for more fun travel videos from all over the world and some new adventures with Rocket. As always, thanks for watching, and don't be a stranger.